Right back on this here real quick. I'm really getting kind of tired of making videos because I'm not sure I'm scratching anybody's noodle by doing this, their head, making them think, but I'm trying. Some idiot wrote me and said, taking old pictures and saying that it's Saturn isn't research. Well, you know, here's something that you might understand. Fuck off. You missed 4 years of video, so go away. Okay? Is absolutely is what all of this is. I've proved it 1,000,000 times. I've done more research and uncovered more shit on my own as a stupid, ignorant fucking tree man, a fucking guy that climbs trees and cuts branches and drops trees on my own than all these other rich motherfuckers that are selling magazines. So I don't want to hear none of that bullshit. And I'm not patting myself on the back. I'm just saying if you do look for stuff, you'll find it. But you got to know the direction to look. I don't need some fucking smartass coming over and saying, well, because it looks like that, it ain't that. It all goes back to that, you a-hole. If you had a fucking brain in your head or a fucking teeth in your mouth that I could kick in, I'd do it. I thought I gave up my violent ways when I was younger. I guess I didn't. Anyway, getting back to this. So here you got the bitches, the 3 and the 3, right? Here it is here, 3 and 3. So then, here's the 3 gentlemen that supposedly grabbed these girls. Well, that's really interesting, right? Because they all shop at the store, in the same store. Purple represents a spirit. It represents that world. Okay, we're not part of that. That's the red and the blue pillars combined. That's what they're trying to be. Okay, they're the in-between guys. They're the in-between the pillars, but that's where they're stuck. Now all of this stuff, all this crazy shit really started right around the time of, the Chilean miners thing. Now, I'll tie that together here in a second. All right, in 2008 is when they went and dug these guys up. Okay, how interesting. If you look very close, you notice that there tends to look like somebody spilled something purple on it. You know, you can see it here and over here and over here because it represents the same thing this is. Okay, these weren't men. These are guys from a place called Tartarus. And I'm not talking about the stuff on a dog's teeth or humans. It's Tartarus. Okay? Right here, Tartarus. Greek. Tartar. Sides or cast. The deep abyss in ancient Greek that is used as a dungeon of torment and suffering for the wicked. A part of Hades, hell, or the underworld, and in turn below the sky and earth and the sea, there's the abyss, is Tartarus, and a place where, according to Pluto, souls were judged after death and the wicked perceived punishment like other primal entities, which is interesting. Other primal entities, meaning that it's a creature, Earth and time. So you got Mother Earth and Father Time. So these are entities, right? So this is a being. So for the time being, right, that would be Saturn. Or when you say it's about time, well, it's about Saturn. Tartarus is also a primordial force or deity, right? So what's the deal with Tartarus? Why can't they get out? It's because they're locked in what's called adamite. It's composed of a diamond and some of gemstone or some type of metal. What were these guys supposedly mining for? Go read about it. Copper and diamonds, okay? Both adamite and diamonds are derived from the Greek word meaning untamable, okay? If you go on to read it, it's the hardest substance known to man, even to this day, being natural, okay? So they had to drill down to get these fuckers out. If you go read about Tartarus in the Greek, it says the only way that these guys could get out was through a shaft. Mines have those. Speaking of which, let's take a look at some of the fellas, huh? Let's see, here's these guys here. This is interesting. I like this light here. Oh, he's holding up a 3. Wonder what that is. Right? Wonder what that is. And then, let's see. Oh, this guy doesn't even look like he belongs there. You're a little pale, buddy. Then this guy. This is really interesting. Now, let's say this is a light coming down from above, but it's really not because it's emanating from this vortex right here. Right? Right about where the guy's solar plexus is. If the light was being shined on him from a photographer, the guy would have the light in his face here. This guy's face would be blotted out. Secondly, this guy's hat is lit up, yet this guy's isn't, nor is this guy, nor is this guy. Okay, so the light is not directly going from your viewpoint to that spot, nor is it coming straight down because it could not be emanating as a perfect circle on his chest. It means the light source has to be being beamed directly at him, and therefore it would not be showing from the ceiling downward. Okay, these are entities. The only real thing in this picture is that ball of light. That's all. Okay, these are entities. Here they are posing, making a nice Hitler symbol. Wonderful, that's nice. So these guys here are probably relatives of these guys here. I'm pretty sure they come from the same place. Now, just to show you how weird things are, I made a video this morning, and if you listen to it, I said, just like that broad, that girl, Elizabeth Smart. She got taken, she was 1.5 miles from her house, yet nobody knew, and she was gone for X amount of time, 9 months or something, 9, right? Guess who comes on TV today? Elizabeth Smart, and guess what she says? Don't ask any questions about why they didn't try and escape. Just be glad that they're home. Listen, I don't really care if they would have killed them broads. You know why? Because the story's bullshit. It don't exist. These locations are probably parts where these entities are coming up through the ground. Another spot where they're coming up, and I'm pretty sure, is where all these fires are coming through. But that's for another video. So here she is here. And she was talking about the women, right? But it's just interesting that I make the video and I say, you know, why didn't they this? Why didn't they that? And then she comes on at noon and says, don't question it. Don't question it. Just be happy they're home. See, that's the thing. The same thing they told you on line 911. Don't question it. Don't question it. You have to start questioning everything because you're going to be deceived. If you can't catch this silly bullshit, what else are they going to throw at you? Kidnapped. Elizabeth Smart. Abducted in 91 at age 11. Held and was held captive for 18 years in a backyard. 18 years, so that's 9. We know that story's bullshit, right? She gave birth to 2 children conceived by rape. Yeah, see, I don't feel any pity for this bitch either, because she never existed. Now, I'm going to show you something. Here's where they're talking about the dispatcher that was given the so-called 911 caller, the woman, a hard time. But that's not really what the importance is here. The 9 is Saturn, and you got the 2 pillars. Really, so it should really be 191. Anyhow, you've got the red and you've got the blue. And of course, they have red hair. Fascinating. Fascinating how they can take a story that never happened in real life in our dimension and make you believe that it did. Because this is all spiritual shit. This here, missing girls found. Isn't it interesting that the woman whose name is Elizabeth Knight, and she was one of the 3, they don't have a picture of her. And her last name is Knight. How wonderfully whimsical. Anyway, getting back to these guys. Here's supposedly where they were at. Well, this is clear that this is a vortex. Okay? And you got blue and you got red, right? And you can see that it's spiraling up, although they're telling you something's collapsing. If we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 levels. And guess how many levels of hell there are in Dante's Inferno? And I keep telling you guys to go read that book. Go research it. Dante's Inferno. I'm pretty sure that's what this thing is. And that's why the New Yorker magazine said Saturn was in the center of the earth, because this thing looks like Saturn and it's in the center of the earth and it's this thing. These are the different rings of hell. Okay? So there's 9 levels here. But if you do this and square it off, I hate to use the word, but it's true. Let me fill in the lines. What do you get? You get a pyramid from this point up. And that very well may be what's locked underneath those Giza, in the Giza plateau, in those pyramids. Those may be holding more of these guys. I would not be surprised. Those might be big holding chambers for a bunch of really nasty fellas. because it says, clearly says, the only way to get out of Tartarus is through a shaft. And if you've seen anything about the pyramids, it's loaded with them. So I'm just making a guesstimation here, and based on what I know, what I've seen, and what I've studied over the years, I'm pretty sure that this guy might agree with me. Interesting. Would you tell me what this is here? What is that? I mean, if that's a broken mirror, I've never seen a mirror break with a perfectly round edge, but who knows? I don't buy it. there were 33 miners. 33 miners. Locked down below for 69, 6 and 9, 9 and 6. Right? Energy coming and energy going for 69 days. They were rescued by 13 other miners on what was it, October 13th, 2008 at exactly 9:11 a.m. in a capsule called the Phoenix 2. You don't have to be an expert in the occult to put that story together. These stories are places where entities are coming out of the ground. Let's open up this pit. Remember what they said? The other thing about this, you got your red and your blue. Right? You got your red and your blue. This energy is emanating out of this dude. And if you look, you can see it looks like a vortex right here. Matter of fact, let me, if you look at that album cover, Stevie Wonder, Songs in the Key of Life. And on that album, he's got the song Saturn, where he's singing about going back to Saturn. It looks like that, basically. So take what you can from my videos, because I'm not sure how many more I'm going to make. But I'm just saying, we're living in some really weird times, and it's not fun. Because this shit is happening. There's a reason why the New Yorker magazine said Saturn was at the center of the earth. Because what they're telling you is that's where, like a little kid, you ask a little kid, where's heaven? They point up. Ask them where hell is, they point down. That's pretty compelling evidence coming from a little child.